Herein continuing, Swami Sri Yukteswar, the Holy Science. Introduction. There it is. Introduction by Swami Sri Yukteswar. Now, where were we? We were at a short discussion with mathematical calculation of the yugas or ages. Will explain the fact that the present age for the world is Dwapara Yuga, and that 194 years of the Yuga have now, in AD in 1894, passed away, bringing a rapid development in man's knowledge. Okay. We learn from Oriental astronomy that moons revolve around their planets, and the planets turning on their axes revolve with their moons around the sun, and the sun, with its planets and their moons, takes some star for its dual and revolves around it in about 24,000 years of our Earth. A celestial phenomenon which causes the backward movement of the equinoctial points around the zodiac. The sun also has another motion by which it revolves around a grand center called Vishnunabhi, which is the seat of the creative power, Brahma, the universal magnetism. Brahma regulates Dharma, the mental virtue of the internal world. When the sun, in its revolution around its dual, comes to the place nearest to this grand center, the seat of Brahma, an event which takes place when the autumnal equinox comes to the first point of Aries, Dharma, the mental virtue, becomes so much developed that man can easily comprehend all, even the mysteries of spirit. The autumnal equinox will be falling at the beginning of the 20th century among the fixed stars of the Virgo constellation and in the early part of the ascending Dwapara Yuga. Now, there's a diagram referred to at this point. I don't know whether you can see this, but I hope that you can. I'll try to, maybe you can take a snapshot of it, a screenshot, this diagram. Now, I'm going to move it in closer. We'll start at the top, and we'll go around this way, right here. Okay, best I can do for you. And by the way, while we're looking at that, let me show you what graphics we have missed up to this point. This is what's on the front cover as well. Swami Sri Yukteswar. Here's a photo of he and his disciple who wrote I believe, the preface to this book, Paramahansa Yogananda. And I think there's one more here. Well, this is Sri Yukteswar's ashram in Serampore. All right. Anyway, here we go. After 12,000 years, when the sun goes to the place in its orbit which is farthest from Brahma, the grand center, an event which takes place when the autumnal equinox is on the first point of Libra, Dharma, the mental virtue, comes to such a reduced state that man cannot grasp anything beyond the gross material of creation. Again, in the same manner, when the sun in its course of revolution begins to advance toward the place nearest the grand center, Dharma, the mental virtue, begins to develop. This growth is gradually completed in another 12,000 years. Each of these periods of 12,000 years brings a complete change, both externally in the material world and internally in the intellectual or electric world, and is called one of the Daiva Yugas, or electric couple. Thus, in a period of 24,000 years, the sun completes the revolution around its dual and finishes one electric cycle consisting of 12,000 years in the ascending arc and 12,000 years in a descending arc. Now, for those who are more familiar with astrological terminology, I'm going to read you the description under that diagram I showed you. This diagram. I want to read you this. You may see that there's an arrow right down here at the tip of my index finger. Go back and look at your snapshots. All right. Virgo is the sign opposite Pisces. The autumnal equinox is now falling in Virgo at the time of this book, 1894, I believe. The opposite point, the vernal equinox, is perforce now falling in Pisces. Western metaphysicians, who consider the vernal equinox to have chief significance, therefore say the world is now in the Piscean age. The equinoxes have a retrograde movement in the constellations. Hence, when the equinoxes leave Pisces Virgo, they will enter Aquarius Leo. According to Swami Sri Yukteswar's theory, the world entered the Pisces Virgo age in AD 499 and will enter the Aquarius Leo age 2,000 years later in AD 2499. All right, another publisher's note. So now again, where are we? Development of Dharma, the mental virtue, is but gradual and is divided into 4 different stages in a period of 12,000 years. The time of 12,000 years, during which the sun passes through a 1/20th portion of its orbit, see the diagram again, is called Kali Yuga. Dharma, the mental virtue, is then in its first stage and is only a quarter developed. The human intellect cannot comprehend anything beyond the gross material of this ever-changing creation, the external world. And here we are at 10 minutes. We'll continue the introduction right where we left off in the next video.